shot.
You're not.
First time, first go, right off rip.
All right, you got it for the first time. I like that.
It's always a good thing. Able to see that.
All right, all right.
Turn the laptop. There.
Now we're good. All right, all right. Welcome back to the next episode of Film Study. This is episode 8. It's hard to believe we've gone 8 times already. This is nice. But, all right. Today's topics are the great fives. Were we able to cop them or not? And we're going to touch on some interesting things that happened in the NFL on Monday. And then we're going to close it out with a little bit of college football talk. So right now we're going to open it up with the great fives. Were you able to get them, Daryl?
Was I able to get them? You see, they've already been worn. I've already showed them love. These were one of the shoes that obviously were automatically needed for both of us, and I had to have them. So I got lucky enough to be able to get them for sure.
The quality is unmatched on those.
Look at that. I've worn it a couple of times, and the leather's looking good. Not the creasing's not too bad, but
Leather's phenomenal on those.
They did an amazing. Outside of the ones with the flaws, because
I mean you're gonna have that from time to time.
yeah, but I mean I
them
really
factory flaws.
Oh,
But that-
is that
but
a
the way-
wrinkle in the toe?
But this,
I know,
I'm
I've
telling
seen
you, when I
some
say
like
it
that.
was like pushed in on the one of the pairs that I got, and then there was a scrape all the way in the back here.
I remember
that
you
was
said
just-
you showed me that.
Like
Nah.
you can't be doing that. Not spending that much money on these kind of shoes, but
Not
yeah,
on those.
but definitely, I was able to hit blessed.
I was able to cop myself, shout out to the boys at Finish Line for helping me out with that. And I just didn't want to bring out my pair, so I'm glad you brought yours to show. But the quality on those is amazing. Like, I was really blown away with that one. I really was. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm hoping that the rest of them stay like that. Like those black tongue fives.
yeah.
I hope that they stay like that.
Because I mean, one thing I will say, especially in comparison to the older one, is the color on the midsole. It's definitely a lot darker than what we're used to, especially if you compare, the two here from the tongue and the bottom. It's definitely darker, but you couldn't flaw this pair to
No.
me. Like there's just nothing
had
you
to-
could do unless you just really completely changed it. You couldn't flaw this one at all. It was done very well.
You had to do that one right. And I'm glad that they actually did. I'm hoping the black tongues come out like that as well.
Yes, and I'm hoping they will. They need to, because obviously bringing an OG classic like that kind of colorway, certain ones everyone's gonna remember, everyone loves, and definitely this was one of them. This is probably,
With the Nike on the back.
yeah, it's probably one of the most take on colors for it being such a wild color. I mean, obviously coming, from the 90s and that era. With how everybody was and how bright just everything was in general, especially in comparison to nowadays. Everything's a little more subtle, more nonchalant. You know what I mean? Everybody quiet. So this one really took it to another level with Jordan Brand for sure. In my
Plus,
opinion.
too, the other thing about that being an OG colorway, that's one of the only ones that Jordan never wore in a game.
Mhm.
Never wore the grapes in a game, which was, it's hard to see that because, he wore the silver tongues, he wore the black tongue fives, the metallics, but he never wore the grapes. He did an Wheaties commercial,
Yeah,
but,
Is it because it's purple?
It might have been.
Aqua color.
It might be other
That would
team
have to be why.
colors.
Because back then, I don't think they really. I think they always matched
well, because
with their
remember,
uniforms back then.
on the band ones that they wouldn't let him
Yeah.
wear,
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yes.
Now you can wear whatever,
you can wear whatever, but
but back then
they wouldn't.
they actually cared about like people wearing the same colorway.
They wouldn't let that
like
fly.
shoe wise.
yeah. Pretty dope though. I'm so happy to have these. So amped.
Same. Like that was definitely a must. Like me personally, I don't know if anybody else agrees. Shoe of the year so far, my opinion.
I'm sorry, I just keep showing it off. Can't help myself. Just so beautiful,
Shoe
man.
of the year so far.
Yeah. So I mean, is that going to be definitely the next one for you? Then is going to be the black tongues.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
1,000. Excuse me.
Yep. Nah, you're good. Yeah, that's like baby girl, my oldest one. She wanted them so bad. I want to buy them for her. You know how I am with shoes and the kids and stuff like that. And
Or were they like all sold out?
no, I can get her size. I probably would have gotten her the 3.5, something that she would more grow into, if anything. But of course, with my baby girl, the youngest one, it was her birthday coming up. Let's see. Oh, it's not gonna clear it up nice, is it? Nope, it won't do it. But yeah, we ended up getting matching pairs, and she's so excited. She's actually wearing hers today. They're out there in the living room. But yeah, I think those are ones, and then they're confirmed those Statue of Liberty Brunsons too, from what I've seen. So I think those
Yeah.
Kobe's are going to be coming out. I know you said you really wanted those. If those ended up dropping,
Did you try for like the Caitlin Clarks?
I did. They
I
gave
did
me.
too, but I didn't.
They didn't give them to me. Wife tried for them too. Everybody that I know of tried for them didn't hit on them. And of course,
That one was probably limited, I bet.
oh, it was.
Because like she's been wearing it all year.
Well, they limited it down to either to 10,000 or 15,000 pairs, which obviously
Yeah.
isn't enough.
I was gonna say, good
And-
luck getting that.
Yeah, and then they made it a draw. I feel like every time it's a draw, I know you have that same luck as well, to where it just feels like it's.
I've never hit.
I don't
a
even
draw.
worry about
I've
a
never,
draw.
I've never hit on a draw, so I don't anymore. I don't care.
But they are
I
talking
expect
about
the loss.
supposedly those shattered backboards might be doing a shock drop, but we'll see.
I did see that.
Because they usually, if they do that, it's usually a month before release, and I think now they pushed it to August. So we'll
It'll be this
see
month,
how true the rumors are.
the middle of the month.
They just did way too many fives this year. I mean, for a year for me to
You can
get
never
back
have enough
into
fives.
shoes. Well, no, but I mean, for the year for me to get back into, because I've been kind of MIA for like 2.5 years. I'm buying here and there, but not as much as I've been going this
Same.
year. You know what I mean? And I
I ain't chasing everything like like I used to. It's got to be a select thing. Like I definitely want to know what the Halloween dunks are going to look like this year.
yeah.
They
I already know that's
they ain't
automatic.
released nothing. Like no hint of anything right now.
It makes me wonder if they are going to do something, because they're
they've done it the last how many years though?
Yeah.
Like they've done it for like at least I know of 5-6 years straight.
Yeah, but you know how sometimes they'll just kind of cut
They
themselves.
got
It's
to.
just weird that we haven't seen anything. So I agree with you on
They
that.
got to though. Come on. That dunk is probably, besides like a couple of the other holiday dunks and stuff like that, like the Halloweens, in my opinion, are some of the most sought after ones.
Because for me, I thought the Air Forces that they did last year were really nice.
They were.
You
They
know what
were.
I mean? But I wasn't really taken away by their Halloween theme. You know what I'm saying? Like it can be a hit or miss.
The candy corn ones were last year. I got them.
Those SBs, yeah, I got those too. I had to get those, and I'm not.
They're right.
I'm not a candy corn fan like that.
No, who is? Candy corn belongs in the trash.
Really? I actually love candy corn.
But
You're one of the first people
I'm being dead serious. I do love candy
You're
corn.
one of the first people I've ever heard say I love candy corn.
I do.
I know a few people
I really,
that
really
definitely.
do.
I don't know about
My
love, but
dad's
they
like that
definitely
too.
eat it.
Right. If you like
That's
it, you
probably
like
who
it.
I get it from. Is my dad.
I don't
Probably.
know. I feel like they did a really good job. You didn't care for it.
So do you like this? Do you like circus peanuts? And this is random. You know what I'm talking about? The orange peanuts.
Oh,
Like
I
the
do now. Yeah. Okay.
That's another weird random candy that I like that I probably got from my dad.
I don't mind that, to be honest.
My dad likes anything sweet though, to be honest with you. Like
Same.
but sometimes he'll get the most like random candy and I'm like, what is this? It's some like old people stuff.
Well, I know there's that one with like the milk cow on. It's like a caramel with some white.
Cowtail.
Oh, Cowtails?
Yeah. I love those for some reason. That's one that you don't hear anybody talk about, but for some reason I enjoy those. I don't
What
know
you
what it
were
is.
talking about before we get too far off of on candy?
Well, the candy corns, yeah, I liked them. Don't get me wrong; it's definitely different. Like it's definitely a different looking shoe for sure. But quality was good. Materials were good. It's just they were just different. They're not what I was like expecting.
I don't know. It's really stiff. I'm not a huge fan of that just because, being in my age, those shoes, you have to really
You
break
got to be
them
comfort.
in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And those are definitely not going to be one. I think that's why I haven't worn them yet. But I think personally, the whole execution of it, I like it because the materials that they use, because it really brought out the candy and how it looked, especially with the little teeth mark that they put on the toe box on those two. Like that was definitely dope that they did that.
I like to, like the Night of Mischiefs, the Mummies, things like that. Like those are the dunks that, you got to keep coming out with something with stuff like that. Like you got to. Like I would even like to see them do something like with a vampire theme. Like a black shoe with a little bit of red. Like a vampire-ish type kind of theme. I would like to see something like that.
I feel like we haven't seen that since like the Nail in the Coffins.
Yeah, haven't.
I feel like that was like the last one. Those were like a regular dunk high. Because I didn't even know those existed until we found them.
And those dunks are fire.
Those are crazy. I really wish the wife never did.
The material on the inside is what makes the whole shoe.
Oh.
Because it's like inside the lining of a coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It's sweet. Like that red, like almost like a burgundy red.
And then they had that like pillow texture to it and the way it was in. Oh.
And the little coffin lace lock.
Yeah,
sets it off.
Oh, it really
I
does
love that.
with the little Nike on it. And
I always love the small things that they do with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just the little things that you notice, like lace tips, lace locks, small things like that you notice that help bring everything together for sure.
Yeah, because that's like even with the Mummies, one of the things that I thought was always dope, how they have, if you lift out the insole on the back of it where the Zoom Air unit is, it has the little
squish bug.
Little squish bug, yeah. I always thought that was a kind of like an interesting take because, in order to see that, you would have to actually
take it out.
Yes. Not everyone, most of the time, unless you've seen the pictures like we have, would have never thought to necessarily look at that. Probably would have just slipped the foot in and you never know. You know what I mean?
That one still hurts me.
Yeah.
Yep. I had them and had to sell them.
I actually see them on eBay. Let's look at it for fun real quick.
Like
that
shoe is definitely, if I really had a one besides those Bread 4s that I sold, that one, the Mummies probably hurt the most. Not gonna lie. Like that one hurt.
Well, I know anything in general Halloween theme is always going to get you, but I know those ones definitely did.
That quality on those and just everything, it was like that shoe is definitely one that I must get back in my collection. Like I have to.
I would like to have it in my collection to begin with. In general, would be nice.
Your size just sucks.
It really does, and I'm not even seeing them on here, so it seems like somebody bought them. But I'm not seeing under the ended, but I think he changed the post. But there was a used pair on there where he was selling it for $500. Then he actually, I'm sure everybody gets it, but sent out an offer for $475. Wanted to offer like $400, but really I shouldn't be buying any more shoes right now.
But you need that one.
I will be
that bad. I will be that bad person on your shoulder. Because how many times have you done it to me?
Yeah, here it is. Right here. See, $355. Buy it now, $550 on there. So it's just kind of about basically seeing if, trying for it at the last second and seeing if I can get them for the price that I want. But obviously, I would like to pay around $400 for it. I would, for sure. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna go obviously way past that. It comes with the box. It came with 2 pairs of laces, didn't it?
Yes.
That's what I thought. And it does look like we're missing 1 pair of laces. At least it doesn't say on there.
Because the OG laces are the same color as the shoe.
Yeah. That's what I thought. And he only has the green ones in there. When I looked on it, you could tell he bought them from eBay themselves when he originally bought them. But damn, my size just be going for way too much. Yeah, that's my issue too. Like I want OG everything, especially that's a very unique color. You're not gonna find that just anywhere. In case y'all wondering what shoes, if it'll pop up on there, but that's what they're looking like. They're the Nike SB Mummies. Beautiful, beautiful shoe, done very well in detail.
The detail on them is what's amazing. Like the eyes on the back of it. Looks like a bandage mummy.
Mhm.
Love it. Finding a shirt for that is hard.
I found a few shirts. I don't think it's like obviously Nike
No,
related, but
you're not gonna find a Nike shirt for that.
and then that, because even that green, that's not like this kind of green.
No,
this
it's
is too
it's
bright.
different.
It's more of a
Off green.
glow, like
Yeah.
like a glow in the dark green.
Now, I did find it was a Goosebump shirt.
That's already sounds amazing.
Okay.
I mean, Goosebumps,
It was
kids classic.
Night of the Mummy, actually, was the shirt. It was like a tie-dye almost. It was like a blackish and blue. I mean, it looked nice. It would actually go with them because it had the goosebumps and it had like the mummy's tomb and his hand sticking out.
Yeah,
It was actually a sweet looking shirt. I would have wore it with those for sure.
I mean, it
But we all
didn't
know
matter
that.
what color they were. It would have went with it no matter what. Perfect, yeah, just because of the theme itself.
And we all know how that turned out. So I don't want to, hurt myself anymore because that one does really sting. I know they're just shoes, and people say, "Oh, it's whatever." No, it's not. It's not for us. Like stuff like that. Like it hurts. Like I had to do. Obviously I had to sell them because needed the money. I'm glad that I had them to be able to do that, but still, it still sucked that I had to do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I mean, sometimes you got to make those adult decisions because I've done that before myself. I mean, one of my regrets, and it's not a beautiful looking show, it's not amazing, but I personally loved it. It was the Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz, the black
That
toe
shit was
that
fire.
faded into the white, and then it had the lining of the I think was it a dress or the picnic, then the yellow brick road inserts in it. Oh, it was just a nice looking shoe. It was
those
clean.
shoes were nice for sure.
And nobody probably would have really have known that those were the Dorothys unless I told them. But I mean, it was just it. And to find them now, they're just non-existent. I mean, that's just what happens in my size. It's unfortunate. And of course, they released years ago. I don't remember what year, but the wife still has her pair though. And I sold them for $100. I've seen another used pair, not even as clean as mine, and they were selling theirs for like $450. It's crazy how much of a
It is crazy.
difference. I mean, but obviously, I mean, once it becomes to a point where it's no longer there, it's been years. People wore theirs, beat their shoes up, or they just stash them in their collection. Forget about them that they even have them.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot. Like I probably couldn't tell you half of the stuff that I remember that I have in my collection right now.
I try to remember, but there's every once in a while you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I
can't believe I have
those. Oh, I didn't sell them. That's been
I know that for a fact.
That's been a few of mine. It's like, oh, thank God these are still here.
I know that one.
Yeah, I've had to make those kind of adult decisions too.
Yeah.
It hurts. But moving on. All right. Now, next topic. This one's going to be bad. We're going to talk about the trades that happened on Monday in the NFL. Surprising trades, too, by the way. Normally doesn't happen in June like this, especially for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh traded Mika Fitzpatrick and a 5th round pick to the Miami Dolphins for Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, and a seventh round in 27 draft. Okay. I'm going to let you talk about this one for a second because I'm going to be a minute. I'm going to be a minute. All right.
I got a lot to say.
I got a lot to say about this one.
Yeah, so basically we're gonna sit back and just let Phil talk. He's gonna be running the whole show.
RJ's going to take this one away for a little bit.
I mean, I'm not completely against it, honestly. Depending on how they use them, how that goes though, because I don't have full confidence probably in Arthur Smith at this point. So how are you going to use Jonnu Smith? Are you going to put him in the slot? Are you going to do different things? Like like what Miami did with him. They throw him screen passes and let him go. Like between that, Jalen Ramsey, I am a little concerned because he is 30,
Very concerned.
but I think he might have a little bit left in him. I do, honestly. You might not feel that way, but in my opinion, he's probably our best second option at cornerback that we've had in a long time. Because between like Levi Wallace, Pierre hasn't been very good. I mean, we go down the line. Let's just be honest with that one. Last year we had, who was it? Dante Jackson. Yeah, he had the picks, but he kind of fell off a little bit. So I'm not completely against it, but it's also how they're going to be utilized, which I've seen Jalen Ramsey, they've been talking about using him at possible safety in certain packages. But apparently he played safety in college. So is that true? Like I saw something.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he'll be the full-time guy.
Oh, no.
But I think he would work well in the slot, maybe some safety help. That's what I think they're going to do with him. I think there was a plan. I hope there was a plan because
is there a plan?
Knowing Pittsburgh staff
They ain't got no damn plan.
They probably don't. Like that's my only thing is I don't have any confidence in the coaching staff whatsoever. I know you don't like it, so
now I'll say this.
And I'll miss Minka. Like that's not even a shot to Minka. I love Minka. Like I actually hate to see him go.
I hated to see him go because one of the big reasons why for him is because he was a leader on that defense.
Mm-hmm.
He was a leader on the back end.
Yeah.
And losing someone like him hurts because I don't trust Jalen to be that leader because one, he's mouthy.
Yeah, he's more of a diva.
He always has
definitely been like
and
that
him,
is the big difference.
And him and DK, they hate each other. Now they're teammates.
Oh, I didn't know. Do they actually really hate each other?
I
actually didn't know that.
They got beef. Like
they'll be all right now. They're on the same team.
Like he was guarding him.
Yeah.
Like at times when he was in LA and they would play Seattle.
Yeah.
Same division.
Well, it's
He'd had
the rivalry base too. Between because they're the same division.
I hate to even say it. Jalen won a lot of those battles. And I don't know how.
The dude was
I don't know how because
point, you know what I mean?
The height difference killed me.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Jalen is short because he's not.
No, he's a taller dude.
It's his closing speed is what really got him to be able to poke balls away and, be able to affect DK.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. You guys are now teammates. What's it going to be like when they get to camp? Because Jalen, I know dude can't shut his mouth. He can't. He is a mouth runner. He did it in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Every time we played every time he played Pittsburgh.
I'm just
every
saying,
time.
When I go to training camp, that'll be nice to watch. Jalen Ramsey against DK.
If we got the Jacksonville Ramsey, I would have been all right with that. Am I saying that he is horrible as an option? No. I just don't like the option. I really don't. Because one, if you even plan on having that dude play safety, you're screwed. Because you're not playing in, the divisions you were playing in that were crap. Okay? You're playing in the black and blue division where you're going to have to tackle people. Okay? Mm-hmm. Do you trust that dude to try to tackle Derrick Henry if he breaks into the secondary and that's the only guy stopping him?
I guess we'll find
Jalen getting ran over. Okay? That dude is getting pushed into the dirt by Derrick Henry.
That's why you got Deshaun Elliott. He'll hit him.
We'll find
so
out.
who all is at the safety position now?
Deshaun.
I can't think of who's even the backup. Do you even know a name?
Did Golden, the boy from Texas that we drafted, is he still
retired?
There? Oh yeah, he had to medically retire.
Ryan Watts.
Well, then that's it. That's a true safety.
I can't think of anyone. Well, wait, is it Thornhill?
Yes.
I know he's older.
I haven't seen him play. I mean,
he was good with Kansas City, but I don't know. They say he's kind of He's still like good, but more of a depth piece now.
Glad that you touched on that. Why are we getting the old people?
I mean, most.
Why
of
are you not getting younger?
Darius Slay?
Seriously,
Slay, Ramsey.
this is where I get in on my soapbox with this shit. Because you got Aaron Rodgers, 41-year-old ass behind our offensive line that's gonna get murdered, bro. Murdered. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then DK was probably the only one that I like that we got. Jonnu Smith, I like that option. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna use him? If you put him in the slot and make him an actual receiver, like I know that he can be, because dude had over 800 yards and 8 touchdowns last year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you actually, that's what I mean by Arthur Smith actually using him. Like, I think it could be a really good thing, that trade. But we have yet, obviously, to see what is going to happen with either one of them.
And the sad part is Arthur's had him twice before.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee and Atlanta. Nothing. No production.
I know.
You know,
barely broke 500
unless
receiving
you see
yards.
something that Miami did with him. But let's just see if he can implement it. I just don't have faith in Arthur Smith.
What else has he seen? I mean, you got Pat Freiermuth, easily top 5 tight end right now, because your tight ends have taken a dip a little bit. Sam Laporta fell off God's green creation.
He's
last
also
year.
underutilized too, in my opinion. Freiermuth probably had one of his better years with Russell Wilson, but
no.
I mean,
but I really do feel like tight ends aren't utilized in general, like as much as they used to be.
Touchdown red zone machines, man. People forget about them.
I just feel like part of our problem was all the offensive coordinators that have been there since Freiermuth was drafted.
Since
or just in general, like there's no tight end production in Pittsburgh.
In the last 5 years, how many offensive coordinators we had?
Well, you had
I'll go 10.
You had Randy Fichtner.
I'll go 10 years.
So you probably had 3. Wasn't it Fichtner, Canada? I'm saying in the 5-year span. Randy Fichtner, Matt Canada, and now you're with Arthur Smith.
Are any of them household names?
No. Not really. The most well-known one's probably Arthur Smith, of course, but before that you had what? Bruce Arians and then Todd Haley. Then before that, like when Ben first got there, was Ken Wisenhunt back in like the early 2000s.
3 of your better guys right there.
Yeah. They haven't had anything in the last...
Even though Todd Haley, everybody hated him.
Listen,
Ben had one of his best years with him. Threw for 5,000. Joined the 5,000-yard club with him. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Oh, I know.
Never did it with anybody else. So...
Some people hated Todd Haley, but honestly, I didn't mind him. I know him and Ben didn't get along too well, but it kind of didn't matter to me.
Ben's an asshole. We know this.
Yeah.
Okay? We all know this. Mm-hmm. Dude was a dick. Okay? But in the 18 years he'd been in the league, he kind of deserved a little bit of that. Mm-hmm. He deserved a little bit of freedom in an offense to be able to.
Any quarterback at that caliber
should
have some freedom.
A little bit of freedom.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Especially if they see something or they think they see something.
Yeah.
They should have that free range.
Some people did not. But my whole thing with the offensive coordinator stuff was they didn't even try to go after somebody with youth and a little bit of, the new age football. Because I've said it before and I'll keep saying it again. You can win with a mediocre defense. But if your offense is subpar, below average, you're not going to win games. You won't win playoffs. You won't win Super Bowls. Okay? This is an offensive-driven league now. And everybody but us is getting with the times, and we're being stuck in 1974.
I know.
Because,
I've been saying that too, so.
Even Andy Reid, bro, he's one of the longest tenured coaches in the NFL right now. He made changes. Okay?
He stays
He doing trick plays at his ass. What are we doing? We do a couple reverses here and there and lose 6 yards. I just don't understand where the newness is. Like, who was the offensive coordinator for the Lions?
Ben Johnson.
You had people beating.
Yeah.
You had people beating
Now
that
we'll see
dude's
what he
door.
does. Yeah.
You had people beating down his door.
You know what Pittsburgh's playbook is like? It's like Coach Klein's off of Waterboy after he got it stolen from him.
Coaching for dummies.
Yep.
Now,
that's basically what I think it is. It's such a 1990 offense.
The only reason why, like, I could see, I could see him doing well because he has done well with his offense.
Yeah, but also seen it with Tennessee.
But also, too, you were carried
yeah,
by one man.
Derrick Henry.
You were carried by King Henry. That's it. Derrick could carry anybody. Okay?
He is
literally, the dude's an animal, and he's, he's ageless, man.
I mean, he's still going even for his age.
And he ain't stopping anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Chris always did say, as a Titans fan, he said Derrick Henry always gets better as the season goes along.
Oh, it's true.
As the game goes along.
It's definitely true.
Derrick gets better. He may run for 70 yards one game. Next game, he pops off for 200. Yeah. Derrick will make it up. And him being a Raven,
hurts even more.
It hurts even more that I have to see that. I have to see that cocksucker twice. Okay? Now, like I said, with the acquisitions we got, the division doesn't get it. Everybody else got better but us. Okay? Because Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Cleveland, I don't give a damn about. I don't care who the fuck our quarterback is. But we have two of the
might be all five of them by the end.
We have two of the better quarterbacks in the National Football League just in our division.
Yeah.
What else division can say that? Not many. So
you got Joe, and you got Lamar.
But let's say what if though, out of some miracle though, Aaron Rodgers is able to pull it off for you and be able to do something with your team for you? Is it even worth wanting to see a winning season if he can manage to be able to pull it?
Well, we already know this is a Band-Aid season because he will retire after this year.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, do I believe Aaron Rodgers is going to give it everything he's got for his last hurrah?
Yeah.
He finally got to play for his man crush, Mike Tomlin. Oh, yeah. Dude going to try to get carried off the field and die there. But
I like it.
I'm just saying, it just pains me that we have to go through this. And Aaron's going to learn, you're not in Green Bay anymore. You're not in the Jets. You are going to get beat to death by this division.
But am I wrong? For
I don't care about it. He's just going to get beat to death by these defenses. These defenses, Cincinnati's was horrible last year. They did get better. They got a lot of options now on defense, except for Hendrickson, which I hope dude stays gone. I hope they don't resign him.
I know.
Please don't resign that man. And we're going to get to another person that needs to be re-signed here in just 1 second. You already know who I'm talking about. But this division is one of the hardest in football. Is Aaron Rodgers ready for it? Seriously. Is he ready for it?
It's all questions. I mean, I think
it's all questions that are going to get answered soon.
Sure. I feel like there's more questions this year maybe than the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like it's so different this offseason is compared to the last couple.
Because they went out and grabbed names.
Yeah.
They didn't care how old they were. They grabbed names.
I agree. Because now it's one of those things too. Yeah.
If you would have told me 10 years ago that Jalen Ramsey would be a Steeler sometime in the near future, I'd have laughed at you. I mean, Omar Khan, the con artist, love you, dude, because you're trying.
Yeah.
With the who was the last GM we had?
Colbert.
Yeah.
Colbert kind of ran.
He didn't do nothing.
I'm gonna say the last few years, I wouldn't say he did nothing, but the last like 4 or 5 years, I thought
he had crap.
He threw it away. Yeah.
He did crap.
His finish sucked, but I do think for most of the time he was there, I thought he was decent.
He was, But
But the
He
finish
ain't-
with
he ain't no
bringing in
Omar.
another QB, you know what I mean? Just getting guys there.
Omar, the last
That's
5
good.
years, stacked
Yeah.
us with players.
Mhm.
And it's cool. I get it.
He's getting guys. I just think part of it's coaching.
I think a lot of it is coaching.
So-
I think a lot of it is the staff. Do I believe it's Mike Tomlin? Half. Because you have to blame the head coach because that's who it is.
Yeah.
But also, too, he can only deal with the allotted money that he is given to give a staff. I mean, the good guys aren't going to be cheap.
Did you watch the nightcap with James Harrison on his comments about? No, did you hear what he said? He said
No.
the one thing I love about Mike Tomlin is he's a player's coach. He's like, but the other thing I hate about Mike Tomlin is that he's a player's coach. He said sometimes to the point of when a player becomes too disruptive.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
But that's what I always said. I just feel like Tomlin puts up with too much stuff at the same time.
In a sense, you
And-
almost have to,
Yeah.
but it's like there is a line.
But I
And
feel like
there's
he
certain-
allows it to go too far sometimes.
That's
What I mean. Most guys, like, if they were more buttoned up, I think they would just be like, look, dude, this isn't working. You need to go.
and he's moved off superstars.
I mean, look how long. I mean, it's the thing with AB. I get it. He was a superstar. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, dude, that was just too much at the end.
We moved off superstars.
So
Bell.
George Pickens is another one. So now
George was
recently-
actually a surprise to me. Really thought they were going to give it one more year. Bro, what did you do?
Maybe he's finally learning just to like, we
Well,
can't deal with this.
What
anymore
did you
for
do
as
to
long as
piss
we have.
him off that bad?
Yeah.
Because that normally doesn't happen.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Pittsburgh will usually wait it out, but then they're probably thinking, well,
They
he'll
don't.
just walk next year, so we might as well get something out
I'm
of him.
just hoping he's going to be good for the Cowboys. I'm hoping he's going to help add that depth without things getting too crazy.
Crazy is one word to put it. Because I just really hope did they really see him going down the AB road?
Maybe. I mean, they've already been there, done that, so it's like, do we really want to risk it
Because
again?
I've seen the sources and I've seen the stories that because we got a new wide receivers coach, Asani
Mhm.
from Tennessee.
Yeah, I know.
He coached at the University of Tennessee. Good wide receivers coach.
Mhm.
Young.
Yeah, I know.
Knows
Yeah,
what he's
younger.
doing.
That was actually the one hire I liked from last year.
Him and him would
Butt heads.
all the time.
Imagine that.
He'd cuss him out. Like, you're seriously going to cuss out your coach? Like, they showed all kinds of, like, clips and stuff of him, like, just screaming at him.
What was he doing? Trying to like show him how to like actually run a route?
Well, he was
Instead
trying
of just get a 50-50 ball.
he
all
was
the
trying
time?
to teach him something, and I don't know if George was doing it correctly the way that he wanted him to do it. And, like, because you only seen the part of the video of them arguing, but he was sitting here trying to explain to him, like, I need you to do this. And, George just wasn't having it. It was like he didn't want to learn anything. He just thought that he could be good by his God-given talent. No, it's fine. You do have God-given talent, but bro, you got to be coached. You have to do things the way these guys want you to do it. If a guy is trying to help you, why would you be a dick?
Yeah. No, I agree.
He was like, if someone's trying to help you legitimately and he's your coach, you have to listen to him.
You know how that goes though.
I
Like,
just
you get
think-
to the NFL, some of them dudes are just head cases in general and like douchebags because they feel like they already got it together.
Plus two,
Some guys are just
he's
like
young.
that. Yeah.
He
Well,
doesn't-
and on top of that, yeah.
He doesn't get it.
Right.
But also, too, that tells me in that locker room, there's no veteran to be like,
Right.
because
Hey, maybe that's where they're going with it. I know some of these dudes are older, but maybe they're trying to get some older dudes in there like that.
do I believe some
That
of the old
presence,
guys are
you
going to
know what
help
I mean?
him? Like Slay, he could
Look.
definitely help Joey Porter.
Joey Porter literally has no reason to not get better now. He has
No
no reason
reason.
because you
None.
have Slay and Ramsey, who are at one point maybe the best
At their position.
at their position.
Yes.
There's no reason for them.
Slay,
He has no reason.
Slay
to
was
do
brought in for that reason. You can't tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
Slay was brought in for the experience factor. Is he going to play? And will he play top tier? We'll find
We'll
out.
see what he does.
But he's good enough to have on the field.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get him in spots, obviously certain packages, I think he'll be fine.
Yes.
He just can't do it from beginning to end, of course.
These young kids in the NFL, and I say kids because they're older than me, or they're
Younger.
They're younger
It's
than
true.
me.
Younger than you, but a lot bigger.
You got, of course. These guys need to learn the game of the NFL.
Mhm.
Okay, God-given talent can only get you so far. Okay, but this is the NFL, boys. You know, you got grown men coming to hurt you. Okay,
Yeah.
you know, I believe George just didn't want to learn. He just, I'm going to go out and do what I want to do. And like the thing where I really lost it for George was when he did not block on that one run during the game for Jalen Warren. When he did not block at all, he just let dude get hammered for no reason.
Oh, I know. I remember watching the game.
The
when
camera
that happened,
panned
and I
to
was
him.
like, "What?"
Jalen was running full force trying to get a touchdown. All George had to do was take his guy and block him this way. That's it. He just
Literally runs right by.
he stood there and did nothing. Didn't even put a hand on him.
So how
Wasn't it the following
It
week?
wasn't.
I mean,
You've
there's
seen
no
it.
way that's
That
not
was
intentional.
1000% intentional that he just let him do that.
Didn't the following week, didn't Jalen Warren block for him to get a touchdown? Like he put some dude on his rear end.
He did. He was running with him and blocked the guy.
So I'm like, dude, do that for you, but that just tells me everything I need to know about you as a teammate.
He said,
it's like Deontay Johnson.
He was questioned about that too.
But
it's the truth, though. It's
in
like,
general,
dude,
a lot of people, in this younger day and age, they're just petty. They feel, in a certain sense entitled. I mean, when you live in a world with this kind of social media and that kind of attention, a lot of these stars are getting way more attention than they used to. They're put on a certain pedestal. So when you have such a big head and there's nobody there to humble you for years, I mean, look at the results. Because are you not noticing a trend of a lot of people like that? And I mean, and then the mental health not being taken care of in the process of these people to help keep them straight. We're just throwing them to the wolves and just letting them get eaten alive. I mean, it's really like that.
My problem is, though, if you're playing football, obviously it's a brotherhood, or it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't care if you have a problem with the coach, someone on the staff, or even in just upper management. Like, that's your brother. Like, I don't understand, like, why wouldn't you go out there and block for him? Like, why wouldn't you go the extra mile for him?
He didn't want to get hurt, was one of his excuses.
Yeah, well,
like you're playing a sport.
No,
that just shows me everything about you.
I'm a personally say either he's mad at somebody on the line or he doesn't like that person. Because I'm sorry, obviously
didn't like Jalen.
Huh? That's what I'm confused about because I've never heard.
Well,
Jalen
it was a running
have
play.
Any issues. Yeah,
it was on the goal line.
But that's what I'm saying. But there's no reason not to do that. If you do that intentionally, I'm sorry, but saying you didn't want to get hurt is just an excuse. It's just
that's definitely.
I mean, he was filled with a bunch of excuses.
But to allow to really do that, I mean, honestly, if a player on my team did that for one of my players, especially a running back like that, and straight allowed it, tell me he's not sitting the rest of the year and going next year.
Didn't he sit? Didn't he get?
Well, wasn't that the whole reason Tomlin pulled him in the one game where you didn't see him on wasn't it like half the snaps he was out of the game?
Mm-hmm. Because
I can't remember which game that was.
But also too, they would say that he's late to meetings.
Yeah.
Sometimes he just doesn't show up at all.
I mean, this is the shit we always somehow manage to bring to our team every time. I mean, we haven't seen it a little bit.
You have other people on your team that need to get the ball too. It's not just you because if you're the best on the team, you're going to get doubled. And you're going to get the best player at the defensive position to be on you. That's an honor, actually. Like, I want you to be able to beat that guy to show me you're better than he is.
Yeah.
But if you're just going to stand there, if I was Jalen, I'd have got up and popped him in the mouth.
I don't understand how.
for not blocking
but
from
but
him.
it goes to show you what a better person Jalen is to still block for him even after that. You know what I'm
You
saying?
want to know what's sad is? I've never even heard that boy speak.
Really?
Jalen, never heard him speak.
Probably just in his own era.
He was better last year, and he was an undrafted kid. Was better than Najee, in my opinion.
Jalen.
That dude did not care. He ran over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He did not shy away from contact. Did not. You watch him run.
Mhm.
It's like, why doesn't Najee do that? He bursts through holes, running
Running
people over, stiff arming, and it's like, why didn't our starter do that? Because Jalen wasn't a starter last year. He was number 2. He's number 1 now.
But that's kind of how it was for us when you're watching Ezekiel Elliott, and then all of a sudden, every time Pollard gets the ball, he's breaking through, finding ways. You know, you're like, what is Ezekiel Elliott doing? You know what I'm saying? So I completely understand that. But I mean, but it goes to show you sometimes people want it more, and sometimes people care more. Because I just felt like I don't understand what happened to Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, he was just phenomenal star doing. It's almost like it feels like some people just like they made it, they get comfortable, and they're just happy.
I
with
think
it.
he got content for sure.
I don't want to
that's
say
what it
he was trash. I think he can
No.
still be just as good. I mean, I know now it's
Now it's
age,
different 'cause
you
of
know.
age.
Now
Yeah.
it's, I'd say he's.
Well, wasn't he kind of out of shape too? A couple years.
Yeah.
So
I'd say he's done.
Yeah, but
But
I
also-
hate it because I really enjoyed watching him play.
But also too, that was Dallas's fault.
Yeah,
They rode that boy till the wheels fell off. Man.
they did.
Those first few years,
They
did.
used him like a mule. Okay.
But the thing
And,
is,
and I understand that
but-
he was good enough to do it, but you gotta give dude a break every
But-
once in a while.
But who did they really have? That was the problem. They only had two offensive. They had some, little things, here and there.
CeeDee Lamb,
But he really was the offense. I mean, the Cowboys. Tell me not, and of course, again, age will show. But tell me, Cowboys wasn't always a strong defense and running team. They did have offense. Their offense was great, but that was one of my favorite things was watching them run through people, watching the defense just crumble the offense. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
why Ezekiel Elliott was like, if you do fantasy football, like people were fighting over Zeke. Like he was one of those top guys.
Yeah.
But also too, if you notice a trend, and I've noticed it too, especially like playing fantasy football, you learn a lot more.
Yeah.
Guys will fall off. Like Christian McCaffrey. He was one of the top guys that like
Had to have him.
if you had the number 1 pick, you might as well cross McCaffrey off the board. Somebody was taking him number 1.
Off rip.
It's changed now.
But then he got. But that same year that he
Or if
they
you get on the
picked him,
cover
he got
of Madden.
hurt.
If you get on the cover of Madden, you're screwed.
So see, I'm worried about Barkley. I don't want him to have a bad year because I truly enjoy him, but he's on there. He's on the cover. I mean, believe it or not,
I'm still taking him number 1. I promise you that. If I get the number 1 pick, you might as well cross me off your list.
yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
I mean, I just want to see. I just don't want nothing bad to happen. I'm worried for him.
And we will have to do a fantasy segment sometime. Sorry.
Oh,
Gonna have to.
I mean, I'm down with it because I've played the last.
I'm in
couple
4
years.
leagues, bro. I can't help myself.
I did it for the first time last year. I mean, I
It's
enjoyed it, and I can definitely say it got me a lot more into it as
It'll
far
get
as
you way
watching
more
games
involved.
and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just felt like I just still don't know enough.
But it will definitely get you more involved.
Oh yeah.
Especially
It was stressing me out, if you want the truth. And some of the weeks, like I didn't really know what I was doing.
I mean,
but
that's the point.
I mean, to stress out over that.
That's the fun of
you're
it.
sitting there staring at your phone at least for an hour or two, trying to figure out what should I do. And obviously, I don't know better. I'm sure sometimes you guys have your plays. You may have a decision: should I do this or should I do that? I'm worried, literally, the whole team. What should I do with this roster?
Yep. Well, there's always the guys that are set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Like there literally is, But also too, like, you're down. Say you're down 12 points going into Monday Night Football, and you only got 1 guy, and it's I'll say Saquon. You gonna get it, or you gonna not?
You're
That's when
gonna
you-
probably get
Well,
it.
that's
though.
when you worry
Yeah.
because some stupid things happen on Monday Night Football. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, Sunday night's another one, but Monday Night Football is where like if it's
Sometimes
You got-
it's crunch time.
you got
Yeah.
one guy, like say you need
Yep.
11 points
Yep.
and you got a defense and that's all you got.
Mm.
You gonna get it? You're gonna be sitting there on pins and needles wanting sacks and interceptions and all kinds of stuff.
Hoping for shit to pop
But-
off.
That's why I love fantasy football. I
Mm.
live for that. Plus, two, you guys know, if you're a football Sunday with us,
Yeah.
you watching every
Every
single
game.
game.
Yeah.
Like Chris will put the game on, like who you got in fantasy this week on the spare TV over here, and it's like, okay, there you go. You can watch whoever. That's why I love it because I can monitor everywhere I'm going.
Everyone you got.
Love it. Now, I want to touch on TJ Watt for a second.
Mm.
It hurts. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. I mean,
Pay the man. Pay the man. Okay.
Do you want him to get? You're gonna have to pay him probably 40. Do you want them to do that?
Oh, it's at least 40.
I know.
Because Miles Garrett is at 40.
I'll be dead honest. I don't think I want them to.
I,
If they can get somebody for him, I think a player and a first rounder for him.
like I told you yesterday.
I'm all for him to leave. I know it hurts to say it at the same time because I love TJ Watt. I'll never have anything bad to say about the guy as a fan.
Terry McLaurin. In
Oh, I
Washington-
know.
in
It makes
Washington,
sense.
in Washington's number one pick. I'd sign today. But I don't want to let him go just yet. I really don't. Because I do believe now.
Well, he still has something.
Well, I
left in the
do.
tank.
I do now. I believe he now understands because his brother retired with one team. Okay, his brother was a Houston Texan.
He played for Arizona
Oh yeah, that's right. He did, didn't he?
a couple of years. Yeah,
I forgot
2-3
about
years.
that. Okay, I forgot about that.
Mhm.
Of course, everybody goes to Arizona and retire.
Maybe it's just the Watt curse. They're not meant to win.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean.
I
but-
believe TJ's different. TJ
So
is
there's an
different.
actual curse, is what you're saying?
No, I was just
Okay.
making it up because
No,
his
I just-
brother always played for a subpar team to like sometimes a terrible team, and he never won anything. But he was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
Kind of the same story with TJ Watt. Has always been on a decent team.
And was an animal.
Yeah,
He'd make you want to piss yourself.
yeah.
Damn.
But I believe TJ still has something to prove. And Pittsburgh,
Oh, I agree.
they have definitely come out and even said, even on Twitter, like we have no intention on trading him.
Is there a rumor though that they're actually listening to trade offers for him? I thought I saw something like that.
I don't believe that they are. There's a lot of
They're
fielding.
kind of listening.
Well, there's a lot of fielding interest because
Yeah.
there's a lot of teams now that they just made those picks, those
Mhm.
pickups on Monday,
Yeah.
that they're like, okay, well, maybe they will get rid of him.
Because I've heard that, and then like there's something else I heard too, but now I can't even think of it to be honest.
There
with
was
you.
another team that popped up in the rumor mill. Philadelphia and Washington have been there since day one on the rumor mill. There was one other team, an NFC team, that came up. And I will say this, probably put money on it. If he went to this team, they would go to the Super Bowl. Bar none. Detroit. Could you
That would be
imagine?
crazy.
Could you imagine Hutchinson and him?
But who are we getting? Amon-Ra?
You're gonna give me somebody.
I would want him to go.
They
with
have
the Cowboys.
so many.
Give me Jamison Williams and someone else.
No, Jameson Williams.
You wouldn't want him?
Two in.
Because they probably won't get rid of Amon-Ra though.
Two in. Then that's the price you pay. Because you're gonna give me somebody you're gonna give me a
That's all I can
starter
think, unless you
for
want to give me
somebody.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
all day. Please throw me that contract, snail mail it to me. I don't care. I'd sign that today. Period.
I'd probably want more of the receiver side of it.
I would, but
On the ball.
Gibbs would be hard to pass up.
Oh, I know.
I know that would never even be an
Oh,
option.
don't worry. You know what Pittsburgh would do? They'd ask for Sam Laporta because they need about 5 tight ends on their roster.
But
It's the truth, though.
I don't think they would want to give up an offensive player for a defensive player. Even though Washington is, or not Washington, but Detroit is stacked on offense.
Who else do they have at wide receiver? Yeah, they really only have Jamison Williams and wasn't there a dude?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Him, but yeah, but they have a third guy. What's that? Patrick? Is it Tim Patrick? I don't know, something like that.
Well, they had another guy that got
He was
injured
decent.
and came back. He was waiting all year to be able to come back. I can't remember his name.
We'll take Jared Goff.
They ain't letting go of golf.
I know.
There's just certain teams
He's
ain't.
He's a decent quarterback. So
They ain't letting
Send
go
to
of.
Cowboys like you did Pickens. That would be a nice, beautiful.
They wouldn't do it for Dallas. Dallas couldn't afford it.
Dallas will find a way
Dallas couldn't afford it
So do you
Dallas-
find it
because
a
if
little,
they want to pay,
because you got
If they wanna play
and
Micah
you got
Parsons-
CD.
and then Dak Prescott just took a huge chunk of your money, they couldn't afford it.
Like that's the biggest thing that I don't understand. You're missing
You ain't the only
you're
one.
missing holes, but people are wanting to take these max contracts for what though? For what? Like what's the point of taking a max contract? And if you could hit rings, it changes a lot of stuff in your future.
But everybody wants to ring chase, and it's like it's not guaranteed to do that because football is one of the hardest ones to be able to
to
be able to
and
ring
I'm gonna
chase.
say this again for a lot of things, and this is what I feel like the newer people that are coming into it, is it about football or is it about money? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's about the
Oh,
money.
it's about money.
But that's the issue is we don't actually have players throughout
Today's
Football.
a lot of sports in general, not just NFL. Everything is about the bag. I get it. You want to secure your bag, you want to make your money, but you're making millions to kill yourself. And a lot of these people ain't out here killing themselves for the game. You know what I'm saying? You don't have those full passionate players wanting to give it their all. Like I don't know what's going on.
I'll use prime example.
Like, did they not watch enough of Rudy? Remember the Titans? Like those movies that gave you inspiration to go out there and do something?
Oh, there ain't.
Well, back then, I mean, it was like that because the NFL didn't have that type of money back then.
Yeah.
I'll
So
use
now,
the
like, it
O
has building and building.
the 08 Steelers defense.
Hmm.
Them guys
Actually cared.
would die for the next person beside them.
Yep.
Ryan Clark put his body
Yep.
on the line like a heat-seeking missile to destroy. Was it Willis McGahee? Destroyed him.
Oh, it was bad.
They knocked each other out themselves.
Dude, Ryan got up first, and Willis McGahee
Laid
stayed
down.
down, and I
Thought he killed him.
I thought one of them was paralyzed when watching that game when it happened. All I remember was just like, oh my god.
You know the guys beside
That just
you
happened.
are going to fight for you every single second. Okay?
Well,
Because trust me, if a guy even after the play was done, if he even side bumped Ben Roethlisberger, 6 guys were on him ready to tear his limbs off.
Yeah, but that's how
Marquise
it,
Pouncey was one of them. His center was probably his best friend on the team.
Yeah.
and as they should be. Your center and quarterback, they should be best friends for life.
yeah.
But you knew Marquise was doing it not because he had to, because he wanted to. That's his brother. That's my guy. You do not touch him.
But that's my point. I mean, so especially and it comes down to a lot of the superstars. They're so individual with each other. What do I need? What is my bag? How can I get the best extension can? You know, and I'm not trying to downplay TJ Watt, but to ask for more money, you shouldn't in a sense.
Your play is what gets you your money.
But at the end of the day, if he wants more money, he needs to go because they're not in a position to be able to give him the money plus be able to build around him. You know what I'm saying? Because you still got a lot of your team that you have to build in general. And then if you pay it all to one player, and this is where I feel like the concept ends for just a lot of people in general, and is you end up not doing nothing for that whole year because you didn't actually make the correct moves to get you to where you need to be. We're sitting on same people over and over, expecting them to have this somehow blowout year. But for example, like Dak Prescott, he wants to be paid X amount of money, but we're not willing to take that pay cut so we can have good player here, because you don't need all-stars everywhere. You need solid players that want to play, right? But they're not going to allow that. They're not going to do that. So our own players are hurting their teams, though.
Some do restructure their contracts because they know that they need to get other people.
See, Dak, I'm complaining. I hope you hear that.
There are some people, like TJ did do that. Like the year that he signed his contract in 21, the next year he restructured to give more money back to be able to add more people.
See, that's what worries me about them giving him like $40 million.
TJ knows he's at the end. His Super Bowl window is closing fast, and he knows it. So
he's probably got
this next contract, if he gets it, is going to be his last. He will retire a Steeler, and he knows that. That's why I don't blame him for a sense. He's padding for the door, and I get it. But later on, the reason why also, too, what they can do is team incentive deals in his contract. To where, like, say he leads the league in sacks.
Yeah.
He gets $1.2 million for leading the league in sacks. That's an incentive for you to go out there and do it. If he wins Defensive Player of the Year, they get $500K. Or if he has how many strip sacks, how many fumble recoveries, how many total tackles. If he leads the league in a lot of those, that's where most of your money comes from.
What has he been leading the league in?
What hasn't?
Okay, I figured that's what it was. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, he's just nasty. I mean,
the last 5 years, the last 2 seasons, and I seen it today, Hendrickson leads the league in sacks in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
but not by much.
Yeah.
Not by much. TJ has 30.5 sacks in the last 2 years. I'll say this too, and this is another one that always gets me. Back in the day, when Lamar Woodley and James Harrison were playing side by side, they'd have 15 apiece.
Done. That's why, and I know it's me dreaming, but that's why I said I would love to see Micah Parsons and TJ Watt on the same line, one on each side.
That's the defense I remember. I'll get passionate here for a second. That's the defense I remember, because
they used to kill teams
with Debo. You had Lamar Woodley, you had Ryan Shazier. These guys would lead the league, and they would go after each other.
I'll go one first
to get this sack. Like, hey, I got half a sack on you. Okay, watch this. It would be the Michael Jordan effect. Okay, watch this. Next play, James Harrison murders quarterback.
That's like, remember when you had
so basically you're saying they're being competitive with
each other.
That's another thing I feel like we've lacked a lot in the sports.
Oh yeah, they get competitive against each other.
I mean, there's no reason
I want the same competitiveness on the same team.
I want that fire in your eyes.
You don't have it. Like Ray Lewis. Dude was an animal. Can't take it away from him. Him and Terrell
Suggs.
They would both go at it.
Yeah.
They would both go at it against each other. Like, I want to lead the league in sacks. No, bro, I am.
But how much fun is it?
You don't have that anymore.
How much fun is it though to be competitive? I don't know. I guess I know I naturally. I know you definitely do. You're worse than me being a competitive.
But
because what I seen
it just murders me, man. Like that 08 defense for Pittsburgh, and I'll keep bringing it up. That was one of the greatest defenses I've ever seen play. And I've watched a lot of football.
Defense I've seen play as a Steelers fan, like that the Steelers have had since I've.
And guess what? I can name every single person, all 11 guys on that defense, from the line to the safeties. I can name every single one of them. And it's if you can do that, you're good. When someone can, and there should be people that are not even Steeler fans that should know people, because just that team alone, just that defense made the cover of ESPN.
It was the front.
Casey Hampton,
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Smith,
Yep.
Brett Kiesel.
Yep.
Don't stop now.
Hold on.
Well, you can go say Harrison, which we already know. Harrison and Woodley on the ends.
Harrison,
Say that.
Woodley. Who was the other lineman?
The other line.
He had long hair. Trey Essex.
I thought he was
Right?
an offensive. He was a offensive lineman.
Was he?
Trey Essex was, yeah.
Okay.
The only other person
Was
I knew
Chris-
that was a back would have been Chris Hope. I'm pretty sure played during that time.
Was
frame.
Chris Kimawatu on that team?
Chris Kimawatu, he was another offensive lineman.
He was offensive lineman.
Mhm.
Okay. There's one more person.
Chris Hope did play,
And
but
I'm,
he was a
and I'm
depth
missing
guy.
him. He's a lineman. But, you had Troy Polamalu. You had Deshae Townsend. Ike Taylor. Your corners.
Big play, Will Gay.
William Gay. You had who was the other? Ryan Clark.
Mhm. James Ferrier.
James Ferrier.
Larry
Larry Foote.
Did Clark Higgins play up to that time, or was that 05? I think that was 05.
I think that was
I don't
05.
think he was there. He died, right? Clark Higgins. I liked him. He was
Lamar
solid.
Woodley was.
What about Lawrence Timmons?
Was Lawrence on that team?
I'm pretty sure. No, he is, because
He
won.
is. He got
I think
drafted in 05.
I think he won 2 Super Bowls with them. I think he was there for the 05, but
He was number
he was
94.
young. Dude, he's actually one of my favorite Steelers. That doesn't get enough recognition.
That was the cover. It was amazing to see all those guys, seeing their faces.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Smith was one.
Well, they're talking about
I
this
love
one
it.
right
Yes.
here.
Yes. Let me see that for 1 second.
I was trying to look up the roster
Yep.
for you.
There's Lawrence Timmons right there.
Yep. He was a dog. I love Lawrence.
Him. That's the guy I'm thinking of. Who is that? Number 77.
Let me see.
The face looks so familiar,
Let
though.
me see. I can find out.
He was number 77. And I'm going to hate myself because I should know who it is. And Chip has finally joined the chat. And he said Dan Marino.
Marvel Smith.
Marvell Smith.
Smith.
But he was an offensive lineman, too. Marvell Smith was.
That was all defense.
I'm positive Marvell Smith was an offensive lineman. What's it say?
Or it
His
might not be his number.
77. Offensive tackle. Because I think he was Ben's right. He might have been his right
Let
tackle.
me see that for 1 second.
I don't think he was Ben's blind side.
You know what the Cowboys did for trading by the end of Monday?
Willie Cologne.
Willie Cologne.
He wasn't an
What?
offensive lineman. He was a defensive lineman, wasn't he?
Mm-mm. He was an offensive lineman. I'm positive, dude.
Why do I keep?
I know these guys. Like, I'm telling you, because I remember, because back then it was like Chris Kamawatu, Willie Cologne, Marvell Smith, Justin Hartwig.
We
was
forgot
the center.
another one. Casey Hampton. Nose
No,
tackle.
you said Casey.
Oh, did I?
I'm pretty sure. you
Yeah,
did.
I'm pretty sure you did.
My bad.
You're good.
Your shoes are just.
You picked the bottom one, not the top one. You all right.
And Chris Kimawatu is.
Tell RJ don't be trying to dirty my pennies.
Chardman and all guys.
I liked Richard, honestly. Everyone, he just gets.
Fucking.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why people have a problem with him as Steeler fans is because he fumbled in the Super Bowl when they were down by like 4 and they were coming back.
Was it his fault he fumbled? Did he intentionally just
On his
toss it? Eh,
So
like
listen.
what happened? Let's hear it.
on his behalf,
Uh-huh.
Clay Matthews literally hit him perfectly, and he literally drove his helmet into the ball and popped it out.
So it's not his fault. They're just mad at him because they're upset at the game
Basically,
that it happened. Okay,
because
I mean,
all Steeler fans, like, I don't blame him, but all Steeler fans blame him because it was like 21, I think 17. Pittsburgh was coming back, right? And they were
Yeah.
driving. Dude, because I honestly believe they would have scored on that drive. There
Yeah.
was so much momentum built up to that point. Like, Green Bay's defense couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
I think if they would have scored there and went up by like 3, I think they would have won the Super Bowl. And a lot of people felt that way, so that's why they feel that way about Rashard.
I mean, I get
But-
it though.
but
You're in your
also-
feelings.
You can also look at it this way. If they didn't dig themselves in a hole and weren't down by like, I think they were down 21-3 at one point in that game. Ben had a pick 6 in the first half,
Damn.
and I think there was like another fumble or another pick or something like that. So that's why they were down.
So it was a struggling game for them
in the very beginning.
Yeah.
But Rashard gets the heat because it's like, oh, they were coming back and Ben was playing out of his mind and like da.
So like basically
he's the scapegoat now.
it could have been a legendary ending if certain things had happened. But I mean, I feel the same way for Baltimore. I don't remember the player's name, but last year, I mean, I think it was their tight end.
You're talking about
Mark
Andrews.
Yes,
the ball,
definitely. But the thing
Twice.
yes, that's what I was gonna say. It wasn't. I mean, I felt like he was just having an off game. But for somebody as elite and as good as him, you know, when you have that camera on you, it's easy to point the finger. I mean, because I was saying it, but in reality, it just happens. I do feel like, in a sense, that last one.
They must have put an offensive lineman on there because
Maybe he was just that good that they put him on there.
defense was Brett Kiesel, Casey Hampton, Aaron Smith, Lamar Woodley, James Farrier, Lawrence Timmons, Larry Foote, James Harrison, Bryant McFadden,
Yeah, we did miss him.
Ryan Clark,
But yeah.
Troy Polamalu, Ike Taylor. That's it.
Mm-hmm. You had, I'm pretty sure Chris Hope still played, but he was like a depth guy.
He was a depth piece.
That's the only
But
he was
jersey
solid.
I have.
But that's it.
I have his autograph, like Chris Hope.
But that's it. That has to be just another guy
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
because that's 12 guys right there. That's not 11 because you put 11 on defense.
And I'm sure you had some randoms, you know what I mean? Like, we're not even thinking.
Yeah, but maybe
that.
But I mean, how nasty was he on offensive tackle?
That defense was just so, and it had to have been Trey Essex because that was one of Ben's guys.
What about
Yeah.
what about alternating him in? Do you think maybe he was an alternate? Maybe that's why they put him in. Like, did he ever play defensive at times, or was he just that nasty in the offense?
That's just
they put
odd
him
that
on?
he's on there. Of course, also too, that is a lot of. That's 14 guys. You only play 11 on defense.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
So they added 3 more players.
but all these players on this photo, nasty. Like
Let me see.
Casey Hampton,
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite, Big Snack, as they would call him. But Aaron Smith was the one that he doesn't get any credit. He really
I
doesn't.
know.
He was one of the nastiest players.
Mm-hmm.
He had a mean streak in him, and he never if you heard him talk, it was a rare occasion.
The boom and bunch. The people making memes. That's nice.
Never that guy talk, ever. But also too, that was like it was back in the day. It was, that was football, the way it should be played.
So what do you think?
Greatest assembled guys right there on defense you'll probably ever see.
So after Miami getting rid of Jonnu Smith,
Yeah, Jimmy's right. I almost got Ryan Clark's autograph, and then he denied me. I was from meeting
where were you at?
I was at training camp.
Oh, you went to training camp?
Mhm.
I didn't think you ever went.
I did. Oh, I got photos. I could literally take Ryan Clark's headphones off of his head. That's how close I was to him. He was signing kids, and I waited. I didn't even put my stuff.
He was real big.
I
With
didn't.
the
Even,
kids.
I know. I didn't even put my stuff in front of him. I just waited there with a pen, my terrible towel. I'm like, man, I'm about to get Ryan Clark's autograph. This will be sweet ass. He just had one headphone in. It was like a Beats
He had one
headphone.
off.
He had one off. And I'm sitting there like, man, I'm gonna get his autograph. This is cool because I love Ryan Clark. He was he was one of my favorite safeties.
I agree.
And then when he was done, he was signing like this. He looked up and I just went like this, held my stuff out. He ran on by me and grabbed another kid's football and kept on trucking right on down the line. And I'm like,
That hurts. That
I
hurts.
also only wanted to sign some kids' autographs that day.
I was looking around like, did this fucking just really happen? Like I was nice. Didn't even say his name. I was waiting patiently. thinking, oh man, he's actually going to see my stuff and see that I'm waiting patiently. And all I did was, hey, bro, can I get your autograph? Nope. Get right on trucking. I was hurt, bro.
I bet you was hurt.
I ain't gonna lie.
You should have called him back. Mr. Clark, don't do this to me. Don't make my feelings hurt today. You should have. You should have been dramatic. Not my feelings. Oh,
it did hurt.
I felt you. I feel your pain. And
Jimmy,
I didn't go through it.
A few guys were with me from work. It was Jimmy, Sam, and Sam's kids. Like we all went up to camp, spent the day, Permane Brothers, the whole nine.
Nice.
You know, it was a nice day.
Except for Ryan Clark's autograph.
It was a nice day until that happened.
Go see Aaron Rodgers play. I know he's at his last year, but we should go do that.
Bro, that hurt.
Oh, I'm going to training camp.
Like
I go every year though.
You tell me I'm going with you this time. I'm being for real.
There's so many people that want to go now.
No. No. I don't want to hear that. No matter what, I take up a car seat in that car, at least. The other three
see, bro,
right in the back.
He was right in front of me. I could have grabbed his headphones.
Let me see.
Like, that's how close I was to that man. And that's not a blown up photo. That is literally me taking a picture.
Hurt.
The security gate and him is the only thing.
Yep.
And I didn't even fight to get to the line. I was just standing there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, bro, come on. Nope. Right on by me.
I had him, so they were down, like, you know, I was just signing the whole line, like you're saying. I had him. They finally got in front of me. It was him and Deshae Townsend right in front of me. The golf cart comes down to pick them up and take them up to eat. As soon as they were in front of me, they got on the golf cart. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, shit. What's he wearing on feet?
Probably Nike. I think
No, he's wearing the cleats. He's wearing his cleats.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But those are clean. At first, I wasn't sure if they were shoes or not. That's why I wanted to look at them.
I was hurt.
I just like the way those look. Caught my eyes.
It was.
Of course, you know how.
That was a
I got Ben's autograph at camp.
It was a hurtful
so
day.
Can we go? So we going?
I mean, I usually go a couple days.
It's hot.
I'll go like one day randomly, and then I'll go another day.
It's hot. I'll say
I
that.
don't care. I'll sweat. I just want to go see Rodgers.
It's a good time.
I know he's old.
I just want to see how big Metcalf is. I just want to see that in real life. Dude, Larry Ogunjobi in person is stupid. Dude.
That's another one that hurt me too. That he ain't there no more.
I wear my Palomalu jersey and everything too. What?
You're a Dallas. I'm gonna tell everyone you're a Dallas.
You can.
Fan.
I wear a Palomalu thing with a Dallas Cowboys hat. How am I? I'll do it.
Oh, I'll tell all the players too not to sign your stuff. He's a Dallas fan.
No, that's fucked up. I can see him doing that too.
Dude,
I can see you doing that too.
So listen though, what my cousin was with me.
What?
Read that comment. I was the only one with a full beard standing there. Everybody else was like kids.
That might have been why he
They
did.
were like 5 or 6.
That might have been why, honestly.
Yeah, but how messed up is that? I mean, imagine.
He might have been thinking Phil's like, oh, why does Phil like in this, like it's all kids, and maybe he's like, oh, this guy's probably thinking like.
There was a few other people in there, but like I just happened to be just around kids.
Yeah.
At that time, and I'm like, but I waited patiently. I wasn't like.
Maybe that's what you needed to do. Please sign me.
No, it won't happen that way.
It won't.
I've seen
some of them guys will deny you for that.
Oh, really?
That's why I waited, because I figured he would deny me. Because I'm not stuffing it in his face.
Next time, just hold it out, and just when he starts to get closer, just,
he don't play no more.
Oh, no, he don't anymore.
No, I'm saying in general. See, like I would love, like for example, Aaron Rodgers like autograph, but it would be literally just, I would just be excited. I'd be like a little kid, because I remember I unfortunately wish I knew what happened with it, but my sister, my nephew's dad, he had an autograph for Shaquille O'Neal that he got, and it was just written on a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? He ended up seeing him at McDonald's. He lived in Orlando and stuff like that, and so like he ran into him, and I still wish I still had that to this day. That's like and I know this is jumping a little bit off. I remember my dad, he used to drive limos when I was younger, and you know he drove a lot of movie stars. One of them was Stone Cold, and one of them was The Rock. So as a kid, being a wrestling fan, remember my dad, because it was after a wrestling match, he had taken him, driving him to the airport or whatever, wherever he was taking him, and he had the beer cans, and then he had like napkins with like blood on it and shit like that. I don't know that, and it was funny. I was like, I want the beer cans, and bro's like, I want the blood. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, I remember for years we had it there just hanging in the room and stuff like that. But man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That hurts.
I mean, I do have one autograph that was, I got a Joe DiMaggio signed baseball.
Okay. Sheesh.
It was my grandfather, because my grandfather and Jimmy's grandfather were really, really good friends.
Okay.
They had, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy, they had dinner in New York.
Okay.
And Joe was in there and they got him to sign some baseballs.
Wow.
And I believe, I can't remember if Jimmy still has that or not. But I mean, I'm sure he does.
That's pretty sick, though.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have too much like autograph stuff like that. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I've just never kind of put myself out there like a lot of people do. So that's why it would be super exciting. It'd be something I would just hold with me. And nothing would be better if I was able to get like his jersey and be able to get it and sign it. I would just frame it and hang it up. Even though it would be like, I have one of the Green Bay ones, but that would be crazy.
Chip's reminding me of the update. And you know what the update is.
Tell them the update. Oh, the full set in? Is that
No,
what we're talking about?
he needs to get the jacket, and that's it.
Oh,
That's all he
just
needs.
one more piece. One more piece
jacket
to the puzzle.
He's waiting on Amazon Prime Day because
Oh yeah, you get
they go on deals, and Amazon Prime Day, I believe, is 4 days this year instead of 3.
He's gonna wear that. He's gonna wear that suit on the regular, like just with his grapes outfit.
I think we're talking about mid-August is when we'll be doing the show, the concert.
The concert.
Okay.
So that's what we're shooting for.
So are we doing this live, or are we just gonna do a video and post it?
Oh no, we're going live.
We're going live with it.
Chip wants. I mean, he
think
wants the whole shebang, bro. Like we're going.
What do we do? Are we doing this outside?
I do not know.
We got to figure out how we got to plan this out. Then figure out how we're gonna do it. But
he wants to do it at the club.
Oh.
And I don't know if I can swing that because I do not know if Lee will let me do that for that long. I don't know. We're going to see what can happen.
I mean, can we do it on a day that nobody's there and just invite a few friends over?
We're open 7 days a week.
Oh yeah.
So it ain't gonna happen.
They're open on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. What time are they open? They're not open all day though. They close at some point. They're open at some point.
We do it at 3 a.m.
They close at 1 a.m.
At 1 a.m. Yeah. So that means we'll show up there by 1. And then that way, everybody else is out. You got your little friends. You have your own background dancers and everything.
Yep. Jimmy confirmed that he still has the baseball.
That's dope as hell.
They were really good friends. Like they were in war together. So, Jimmy's grandfather was an awesome person. Really good dude.
PYT. He understands then.
He will understand. Yeah, go ahead and try to tell him. See how far that gets you. But I mean, I think we'll see because we need to lock down a place where we can do it. But we gotta be able to have some room.
Yes.
Okay. Got to be able to have some room. This dude wants the fog machine. I mean, he
wants to go all out.
Chip wants the whole nine.
He wants an official video, basically, of you doing it. That's wild. Okay, what's good? What's good? Oh, my bad.
Yeah, thanks all for joining in the chat. That's what I like to see. I like to see people interacting in the chat. That's awesome. I like it. I like it a lot.
So you're taking me to training camp with you, right? You're not gonna deny me a seat like you did for wrestling. are going to the
wrestling.
game last year, and they're going to the UNC game without me because I had to work. I don't care if I had to work. You still didn't take me.
game was at 9:00 at night, and you're like,
Yeah, but-
"Oh, I can't come."
Yeah, I'm sure I had the kids, but still, you should have told me I should go anyway. And I should just get my responsibilities as a parent.
I
and
tell you
drop off
that all the
kids at
time. I
grandparents.
tell you they're old enough; they can watch themselves.
I wish they were. No, I mean they're already growing too fast. I mean, youngest one just hit 6, and the other one's about to hit 9 in a few months. Speaking of them, look, I want to give this to you now while I'm talking about them. But my oldest, Amara, she made something for each of us. She was watching, of course, last time's show, so she had to get something for everybody. So on the back of it, it'll have something for you of what she did.
Of course.
Is it Oregon Ducks?
It's short.
Oh yeah, and I got the Orlando Magic.
Troy Polamalu.
She made a little picture for each one of us. She was like, "I would love it if you would show it to them on the show." They're really enjoying the fact we've been doing this podcast and us watching them and stuff like that. I know they've been talking about, well, when we come on the podcast, why don't we go ahead and do our own show on it one time? It's like, y'all kids are wild.
Yeah.
They sure do got the personalities, I'll say that. But I could see that, especially in the beginning, being all shy and everything like that. Isabella would just be right into it. She just the more she would do it, I just know she would be good at it too.
Yeah, it was definitely it's definitely nice. You know, we're going to try to get this going with that. So I don't know how we're going to pull this off, but we're going to give it the old college try here.
We got to figure something out.
If there's any person on planet Earth that I know that will pull it off, it's him.
Chip.
Yes.
You know what we should do?
Well, I'll help him.
Dude,
know what would
I'm
be
just going
really
to tell
dope?
you, I have had random people when I'm working the bar late night come up to me and be like, "When's the concert?" I'm like, "I don't even know you." Like,
When's the concert?
it's been getting that much exposure. Like, I can't go to the grocery store. I can't go to the gas station. I can't go nowhere without people wondering when this is going down. Like,
the hype is real around
Chip is making you famous is what, like, my neighbor even has said, I can't wait for the concert. I need to see this. Like,
I'm
people are
excited
living
for
for
it
this.
too. I mean, you should.
And I was like, wow. Like, that, but okay.
Because it's
And
entertainment.
of course,
and it's free entertainment.
And that's his exact, you're welcome. That's all I get from him. You're welcome.
That's what we do.
I get it.
That's
You know,
great.
it's going to be interesting, to say the least.
Only good friends will do that for you.
Oh, I know it. Don't I know it? Trust me. If anybody else, like I said, going to pull this one off, it's going to be him. So the jacket he found is pretty sweet. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie about the jacket. It's pretty sweet.
Phil might just wear this costume whenever.
Nah,
Anytime.
he might just go out on a Friday night.
The only other thing too is finding, like, what really pull it off is finding a Prince guitar, the symbol.
Oh,
I don't even care if it's like one of the inflatable things you play with in the pool. You know, that, like, just finding
the fact that it's
one.
his. Yeah.
Plus, too, that guitar is iconic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you remember the Super Bowl that he played? He had that guitar,
Yeah.
and it was actually raining,
Mm-hmm.
and they put the lights up, and it was purple. Still to this day, one of the greatest Super Bowl halftime shows ever. I love Prince. I always have. Love the dude. Amazing artist.
Yeah.
Amazing. Gone way too soon.
Now you get to be him.
Yeah.
You get to see what it's like to walk a mile in his shoes.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen.
And then can we do a skit?
Come on,
Can we
Phil.
do a skit too? Can we do a Dave
What are we?
Chappelle skit?
What are we?
Can-
Dave Chappelle?
Can we
You got
throw in
the
a Dave
voice of
Chappelle
an
skit in
angel.
You
there?
want to get?
Can we pay tribute to my boy Dave Chappelle?
serve pancakes.
Yes, come on.
You know?
You going one-on-one with RJ or something, and then every time you make a shot, you give him syrup. Then you give him a fork,
You're in your group of
hand him a
flunkies.
plate.
He wore the same stuff as he wore in the club. He said, "Don't judge a book by its cover." He said, "Prince could ball." And I'm like, that's hilarious. I love it. That was one of the greatest skits ever.
Oh, that joint is hilarious. I mean,
He goes, "Man, I'm not on your team." Good game.
Yeah.
I'm not on your team. Love it. That was great.
oh my god! But there's just so many parts to that series in general that was just iconic as can be.
Yeah. But all right, we're going to go ahead and cut this one off for now. Till the next episode.
To the next one.
On to the next one. We'll see you all. We'll see you all then. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining in the chat. Appreciate all the love. Make sure to, if you're not already, subscribe, hit that like button, share with your friends. Can't wait till the next one. Get on it. Peace out.